So Jasmine, amazing woman. We met each other on Instagram, right?
Yeah, on Instagram. I
It's,
was searching I
yeah.
was searching autism stuff, and then you popped up, and immediately I felt something in me, and I knew that you would support me through my journey.
And can you try to explain how does this all begin for you? So what happened for you? When did it begin, and when did you get the diagnosis? Can you take us back to that time, and maybe to that darkness that you might have felt surrounded by?
So my daughter, she basically was hitting all her milestones and doing everything that she was supposed to do on time developmentally. And then a little bit after 2 years old, I realized that she had a speech delay, but I never thought it was autism. But something in me was just like, something's not right. And I used to give her formula. She got a lot of antibiotics. She got double doses of vaccines. There was a lot of things that I think contributed to her toxic overload. And so I was in school. I'm still in school at the time. I'm still in school actually. And I was able to get money taken off to see a psychiatrist. So I went and brought her, and immediately when I was filling out the forms, I knew something was wrong. And every person that came in, it was a male. And I'm like, no, there's nothing wrong with my daughter, because autism is more prevalent in boys, right? So I was just like, no, there's nothing wrong with her. She's just speech delayed. But I knew when I was filling out the forms that he would tell me that she would be diagnosed with autism. But I never thought that he would tell me that she was on the severe end of the spectrum. So when I got that diagnosis, I just had given birth to a baby, and I was depressed. Like, I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to do anything. I actually didn't even want to be around her because I couldn't cope with the diagnosis. I was really in a dark place. And I started to research. And before I knew that there was something, before I got the diagnosis, I started to research on the effects of diet. And I tried to switch up her diet a little bit, but at that time I wasn't in the right mind frame. I was like, I can't get her to be gluten-free and dairy-free. How am I going to do this? She barely even wants to eat the food that I give her now. How am I going to
Exactly.
how am I going to get her to do this? So I was like, man, I need to do this gluten-free, dairy-free, but it was a struggle. I was doing all the things in the wrong order. I've seen like 3 different doctors. I got her tested, and then through the testing, they would put her on different supplements, and I would have to force her to take these supplements. And I knew it didn't feel good, and I knew it didn't feel right, but I didn't have the answers, and I didn't know that I was the missing link to this all. It was me that was missing. And I used to just give away my power to all authorities and I would just let them tell me what to do, and I didn't have a say. Like, they would give me all these supplements I couldn't even pronounce. And so
was this your local GP, or was that alternative biomedical practitioners?
It was biomedical.
Yeah,
it was biomedical doctors who would. I seen a few different ones. I started her on GAPS diet. I seen little improvement. Her dad was just like, this is not working. He didn't. A lot of people just kept saying, like, I don't understand why you're doing this all, and they couldn't understand. And we felt hopeless because nothing was working. And so in the summer, I started to research, and I was looking on Instagram, and then that's when I had found you. And then I think one of the first posts I saw was something about food. And I used to struggle with food. I have a sweet tooth. I love sweets. And I would always tell myself, oh, I'm going to go on a diet. And then I would stop, and then I would see a cupcake, and then I would eat it. Yes. And I think that's the first, post I saw. And I was just, I think I literally wrote, I don't even remember what I wrote, but I was just like, I know you're saving my life. I think that's what I wrote. I think I wrote, you're literally going to save my life. Like, I knew when I saw the first post, your first post that I came across on Instagram, I knew you would save my life. And that's exactly what you're doing. You're saving my life and my daughter's life.
That's because we remind each other of that capability within you to turn it around and to walk that path and to save yourself and save her simultaneously. So that's just such an honor for me to be able to walk with you and to witness that happening for you. Can we, so how old are you, just for those who doesn't know who you are, Jasmine? You live in Canada?
Yeah, I live in Toronto, Ontario. I'm 24 years old. I have a 5-year-old named Jada who's been diagnosed with autism, and I have a 1.5-year-old as well. And he's 19 months. We call him PJ. And he's also such a light. He sees Jada for who she really is. From 4 months old, he would try to interact with her, and I knew that and now I know he's also one of the missing pieces to the puzzle. If I didn't have him, I don't think that I would be where I am today, and I probably wouldn't, if I got the diagnosis earlier, I probably wouldn't have had him at all, because
Exactly.
it's this is a long journey. This is not just a one size fits all. You have to work on your mindset. You have to work on you. You have to meditate. It's not just supplements and diets and food. You have to work on yourself first in order to help your child. If you don't work on you, you can't help your child. And I love your quote. You always say, you go first and your child goes further. And now I finally understand that and realize that, and I'm making changes in myself, and I'm getting stronger each day. If I didn't work on myself, I would probably still be where I was in the summer. I actually was depressed. Like, I didn't want to get out of bed. Like, I even had like really bad thoughts, and I was telling my mom, like, I need your help, because she lives like 35 minutes away from me, and I would just cry every single day, and I would still have to take care of these two human beings, and it was a real struggle for me. But I'm not in that dark phase anymore. I know what I need to do now, and I know that it all starts with me, and that's what I realized.
So
through the mindset.
So from someone who's in the same situation as you were back then, you're so young, and I'm just completely in awe over you starting this journey so young, taking on this huge challenge to turn everything around for yourself at such a young age, because we all know that autism in itself is a challenge in itself. That's almost, it can break you, and it does at times. For someone who's where you were at, with the child that's diagnosed, a child that's slipping away between your fingers, it feels like you're losing your child and your future and your dreams, and you feel that it's impossible to change diet. That was your number one thought. And then when you finally changed diet and did all the right things and took all the supplements that the experts told you to give her, and nothing happened, what did you do, first of all, to make this decision to shift things, and second of all, to not lose hope when it didn't work, when you then finally pulled yourself together?
Well, first of all, I knew that autism wouldn't be for life. Like, even when I got the diagnosis, even though I was depressed and I was severely depressed, I knew that it wasn't for life. And I knew that this journey I would have to take to show others that it's possible. Like, I knew that. I just don't know how, but I knew that in the beginning, that this wasn't just a diagnosis. This was to change me, to change her, to change my whole family. Even my family is making small changes. And even though if they may not agree with everything, they're drinking more water, they're eating cleaner, they're eating meats and vegetables, they cut out processed food. So I knew in the beginning that this was for a reason. And just like you said, something's got to change. And the way we were living, it wasn't healthy. So for somebody who feels hopeless and who are in similar situations, the first step is working on you. You have to work on yourself, and you have to, first of all, you have to believe that autism can be turned around, because if you don't have that belief system, it's not going to happen. So first, believe. Second, when I was doing all these different things, it still didn't feel right to me when I was doing GAPS diet and when I was taking all these supplements and forcing her to take them. It was just like a chore, added stress. Like, it, on top of everything that I was dealing with, she would throw tantrums. She wouldn't eat. Sometimes she would be up in the night stimming, and I just was like losing my mind. But when I started to work on myself is when things started to change. So,
so what did you do then? So the GAPS diet didn't work, the supplements didn't work. And what a great tip, and thank you for that advice, because we always know, don't we? There's always this voice, no matter if we go to the doctor and we accept medicine that ends up damaging our children later on. We know when we say yes, and there's this no within us. And you knew that this diet and these supplements weren't right for her. So what did you change? How did you work on yourself? And what did you change in your family's lifestyle that then finally started to work?
So I did the mindset and manifestation course, and that opened so many doors that I can't even explain, because it just, all those things that you speak about in the mindset and manifestation course, I was just like, aha. I had aha moments throughout the whole course. Every day I would just be sitting there like, wow, you know me. And I just couldn't believe it. I'm just like thinking, how does this lady from the UK know all these inside parts of me? I was just like in so much awe. Like, I was even telling my sisters, like, read this. Like, even my sister made a comment. She was just like, so what happens when you do turn autism around? Then what? Like, trying to say, what other project are you going to take on? Or what else are you going to have to complain about? And there's been quotes where you posted in the group, like, people know most of the old you, right? And they want to like influence you and think that there's going to be another problem or another issue, but I'm canceling out those problems. I'm not complaining anymore. I'm just figuring out how to navigate through this journey. And because the more you complain about your problems, more problems come. And even with my son, he's considered a picky eater, right? And on Sunday, he ate cauliflower rice. So now I don't complain about him not wanting to eat. I just give him the food. If he chooses not to eat, then he chooses not to eat, and then we're going to try again. And he's not on the autism spectrum. He is considered to be, what's the word? Advanced. He's considered to be advanced. Like, he's talking already in sentences. Like, he'll tell me what he wants. He'll express his needs. And he's considered a picky eater, but I just still do the same things that I would do with Jada with him, because I can't give him a food, my son PJ, a food, and then tell Jada, no, she can't have that. That's not fair. Everybody has to be on the same page. And that's also what I realized. I was like eating gluten and dairy and thinking that it was okay. That's not how it goes. You have to walk the walk and talk the talk, and your children will follow. I actually gave him rice, and he didn't want the rice. He wanted my cauliflower rice. So that's just an example to show that it's not about what you do or say. It's not about what you say. It's about what you do. So
that is so wise. And how is the lifestyle of your family and the diet? So you're just basing you're eating more like a paleo-based diet now, not all the broths and all the fermented foods from the GAPS diet, which is something that often can cause problems for children.
Yeah, I'm doing keto myself right now, but no, we're not doing any broths or fermented food. The lifestyle, I have to get my kids out grounding. We don't ground every single day, but it's like -20 here sometimes, and it is my goal. I'm choosing that. I will be moving out of Canada eventually to somewhere where the sun is shining every single day, because it's really cold. Like my son they will cry when their feet touch the ground because it's like negative 10, negative 15. It's not really an environment conducive to grounding. But I cleaned out all the toxic products. Like I just read ingredients and I Google them and see like the effects they will have. I just do everything as natural as possible. We eat organic. My daughter gets no juice at all. Like she can't have juice. I just make everything from home, and I do a lot of different recipes, and I buy a lot of like digital PDF cookbooks so that I can make them different recipes. And at first my daughter wouldn't eat at all, but she will eat what I give her now.
Wow. So if you should sum up the most important realizations you had to come to finally start to see results, because how is she doing now, and how was she doing and coping in the beginning? So when you just had the diagnosis, and how is she doing now?
So in the beginning, she would be throwing tantrums, throwing herself on the floor, just seem like she was in space, like she wasn't able to understand anything at all. And she would constantly want things done her way. She would always pull us to go outside. Anytime her brother was around her, she would, anytime I had her brother, she would like literally walk past me, and she would be so upset with me. And throughout the journey, the GAPS diet and all those things, that I didn't see any significant changes. And then now Jada, she's actually currently in Jamaica with her grandmother, and she is grounding every single day, and she's now communicating with children. And I meditate and visualize her speaking and visualize her doing all the things that I want her to do. And now she's interacting with children. And this goes to show that nature is the answer, because she's been in Jamaica and now she's interacting with children. Jada wouldn't even look at a child at all. She's grounding every day. She's eating cleaner food, because obviously the food is better in Jamaica, less pesticides, less herbicides, less everything. They don't spray their foods. They don't add hormones to their chicken. So she's just living a more natural life. And that's why I know that I have to move out of Canada. So in order for her to heal faster, because she's healing right now. And her grandmother messaged me and was just like, I can guarantee 100% when she sees PJ again, she will play with him. And she's never played with children ever. So it's really amazing to know that, like, she's just interacting with children. And she's also relearning the skills that she had lost, because she knew her ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, and she stopped saying them, and now she's saying them again. And she'll say her 1, 2, 3s ABC. She's saying more words. Like she'll send me videos of her interacting more, and she looks less spaced out, and she will actually look you in your face. She sent me a video of Jada and her. John's mom sent me a video of Jada and her, and she was like, come give grandma a hug. And she came and gave her a hug. Like, she's following one-step directions and all those things she wouldn't do before. So I have a lot of decisions, big decisions that I need to make, but I know that nature is the answer. And to sum it all up, it's all about mindset, belief, and nature. That's what is working for me.
Yes.
Because she's now a changed child. Like, no one can tell me anything. I know this is the answer, and our autism is going to be turned around, because I'm going to make sure of it. And she's changing every day, and it's just amazing. And she grounds every single day. Like, she's bare feet all the time. So it's so important to reduce the inflammation, because she has.
Go ahead.
I lost my thought, but I'm just excited and giddy because I just can't even believe that she's changing so much, and I just can't wait to have her back. She's coming back in the spring, and before I was just like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. When people would say, oh, I'm going to homeschool my child, in my head, I was like, I'll never do that. Like, I can't take this on. I would never, if I didn't do this course, if I didn't do the mindset and manifestation course, I would have never been in the mind frame to even think about being able to homeschool her, because I just didn't even want to do anything at all. So now I know what I need to do. We're going to be getting outside and grounding every day. We're going to be eating healthy foods, and it's going to be amazing.
You are totally amazing. What kind of life is now possible for you when you look at your family, you look at your personal life, your dreams? What's opening up for you when you look at your future now compared to back when you barely couldn't get up from the bed?
Anything is possible now. I don't have to worry about going to the grocery store. Obviously, we're in the beginning stages of the autism turnaround, but I know that she's definitely going to be turned around. But I couldn't even take out my 2 children by myself. I had to purchase a wagon to take them out by myself. Like, one time I went to the grocery store with my grandmother, and she left me alone for 2 seconds, and I was going to have a panic attack because I didn't know what to do, because I've never been left alone with them before. And nobody understands that. People will think, oh, you have 2 children, this is your choice. But no, you don't understand. If there's a child running, then you have to leave your baby in the cart to go run after your child. It's dangerous. So Jada even that same day, Jada actually ran into the road, and I had to leave the taxi, my baby in the car, and Jada ran into the road and almost got hit by a car because she's just so unaware of danger. So I had to buy a wagon. Well, my family bought me a wagon, and it just saved our lives. Anything is possible now, because I know that she's going to be turned around, and she's less calmer now. She's more compliant. So I can bring her out, and I know that there's not going to be a tantrum every 10 seconds. Like, she would go out into public and just be screaming because she was so sensitive to noise. Anything is possible when you truly believe. Like, everything starts in the brain. Like, if you have a thought, all these things, like computers, somebody thought about a computer and then they brought it to life. So anything that you can think about, anything you think anything you think about, it can come to life. And that's what you need to really understand. It all starts with your belief system. And I have to believe for everybody. Even Jada's dad, he doesn't truly believe autism can be turned around. But I can't worry about what his beliefs are. I have to worry about me and turning around our child. And eventually I know that he will follow once he starts seeing major improvements.
That is so amazing. If you hit, just to end this amazing conversation, Jasmine, if you were to go back to that lovely depressed woman in the bed who had just had an infant and a diagnosis at the same time, what is the 3 things you would say to her that could bring her hope about what's going to happen in the future? So that will also be very valuable advice for those who are still in that situation.
I would say, first of all, you can do this. You're stronger than you think. Also, I would say you have to believe and know that you are the one who's going to turn around your child, not anybody else. There's nobody else in this world that knows your child more than you. And you have to truly believe that. In the beginning, I didn't truly believe that. When I would see you post in the Barefoot Autism group, about mothers and their intuition, and I would think, man, I don't even know what to feed myself. How am I going to even know how to turn around autism? I was literally so scared. I was so fearful when you kept saying me, or the mother, you kept saying mom. And I'm like, mom. Mom doesn't even know what to eat. Mom can't even sleep. So I'm like, Mom.
Yeah.
I'm like, how does I'm like, no, I was so scared. You don't even understand. Even when you would make some you would make, even, I was just so fearful about all the comments. Like I was sitting there like having anxiety attacks every single day because you would post like, oh, your child has the same biotype as you. Then I would think about my son who is considered normal and think that, oh my gosh, something's gonna happen to him. Like everything triggered me. And and it's not like that anymore. So you definitely have to believe in yourself and know that you're the missing piece to this all. No doctor, no one is gonna know your child more than you. And also just know that it's gonna be okay. Like I would, man, I don't even know how to explain it. I was extremely depressed. I needed help. Like I needed help, and this was the help I needed. Because I don't feel like that anymore.
And this has happened for you so quickly, because this is not, we're not talking years, we're talking months. In months, I've seen you go from someone who is confused, scared,
helpless,
triggered, angry, to someone who's so peaceful that I can see you lead the way for so many young moms following in your footsteps. You know, the resourcefulness, the strength, the humor that you've got. It's literally like talking to a different person. You're a different person now.
I am a different person, definitely. Even when you said, oh, you need to change your profile picture after you go through the course because you're brand new, and I felt it. I could feel a rebirth in me. Like I know I'm brand new and I still have a lot of work to do, but I can notice myself. I can notice the self-sabotage mechanisms, even the way I talk to people. I can notice when I'm like not being nice anymore. And that is a really amazing realization to come to, because I didn't notice that I was actually toxic before. Like I was toxic. I did have a lot of toxic traits, and I thought I was just like this perfect little princess, but I wasn't. I would do some stuff that wasn't healthy for myself or my children, and I'm happy because I'm just becoming the mom that my parents deserve. Not my parents, I'm becoming the mom that my children deserve. Like they didn't deserve a mom who was stressed out and always yelling and always getting frustrated. That's not fair. They're innocent little human beings, and that's not fair to constantly be frustrated and yelling all the time and in a state of flight and fight. Like that's how I was before. I just couldn't function the way I was. I would have probably, if I didn't find you and this mindset and manifestation course, I probably would have died early because from stress. Because I knew that autism can be turned around, but I didn't know the way until now.
And for that, I am so thankful. I'm so thankful for the work that you've done, because you're offering so much hope now for moms who are in the initial phases. But I'm also grateful for you and on your behalf, and for the life that you're now providing for your family and for your children, because you are a shining light of hope for those who have lost hope. So thank you for doing this work. And again, I'm so amazed by being able to do that at 24. When I was 24, I was not even alive. I was just a robot. I could not have done this when I was 24. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I'm sure that these viewpoints and these beams of light, these insights will have a huge effect and huge impact on those who are not as far along on the journey as you and not as courageous as you are yet. So thank you, Jasmine. And I wish you all the best. And I'm so grateful to know you.
I'm so grateful to know you too. And I also want to say, like, I know this journey is tough and it's a long journey, but I'm 24. I'm in school full time. I'm a university student. I'm in the social work program, and I have 2 kids, and I don't even have a car. And there's a lot of challenges that come along with this, but I just want you to know that it can be done. You just have to do a little bit each day, and a little bit becomes a lot, and you'll see the changes in your child once you start making changes in you. So that's what I want to leave you guys with.
Thank you, amazing one. And thank you so much for your advice. Gratitude from me. See you soon. Thank you.
No problem.